you ever had a fear in your life that has held you back and kept you from doing things that you want to do and becoming the person that you want to become? Well, stick around and I'm going to share with you a story of what I had to overcome in order to become the best version of myself. Alright guys, so this is going to serve two purposes. One, I'm responding to being called out by my brothers Al from Raw Access, Al from The Rawvolution, and The Chocolate Vegan. I highly recommend that you check out these guys. I'll put the links to all their channels below. They are hilarious and they're always full of awesome information, especially if you are into the vegan lifestyle. The second purpose of this video is going to hopefully inspire you and motivate you if you are somebody that has dealt with a fear or some sort of limitation in your life that you have put on yourself and you have allowed it to hold you back in life. Alright guys, so when I was like 16 or 17 years old, I started to notice my hair was starting to thin. There was hair coming off on my comb, it was in the sink, and this was something that scared the crap out of me. So many things were going through my head, like, I didn't think any girls were going to want to date me. I even thought that maybe I wasn't going to get a job that I wanted because, I was going to be too afraid to be confident with, thin hair or no hair at all. And it was something that just got stuck in my head, and I just went into a depression. And I always had anxiety about it. Anytime I was out in crowds, I would be afraid that somebody was going to notice that my hair was thinning, or I was afraid, if I was at a party, a girl was going to come and mess my hair up, because what I would do is I would get my hair, I'd style it so perfect, and then I would take hairspray and I would spray it down, and I did it like rock hard so it wouldn't move, and I wouldn't have to worry about, my scalp showing or anything like that. So I was like OCD about it, and I was just completely obsessed, and it was so unhealthy, and I didn't know what to do. So basically, in a nutshell, in high school, I was afraid to wear a hat because I didn't want it to mess up my hair. Into college, I discovered that I could wear a hat and I wouldn't have to really get ready in the morning, and I wouldn't have to take so long to comb my hair. So I went pretty much 98% or more of the time I was in college and around people, I had a hat on. I pretty much went 3 or 4 years with very few people ever seeing me without a hat. And, again, even with the hat though, I still had just that anxiety of, one, people noticing that I never took my hat off. And two, girls always like to run up and take your hat, and that was something that was always on my mind, was that a girl was going to come up and take my hat and try to wear it, and I was going to be stuck there, just people, and what I thought was people were going to be staring at my hair. And I think back now, I know that wasn't what people were thinking. People weren't focusing on my hair. It was just me having that toxic thought and that obsession, thinking that, if my hat came off, that was going to be the one thing on everyone's mind. So, it's easy to see now where I am today, looking back, but at the time, it was something that was a major stress factor and something that really affected me, that really affected the quality of my life. And so anyways, so I wore my hat all through college, and then I had to enter the workforce, and I was really stressing out because, you're not going to go to an interview with a hat on. So I had to figure out a way to make it without my hat, so I started cutting my hair shorter, but still, again, I was back to just spraying the hairspray in, and I did basically every other cream and gel and solution that they had on the market for hair loss. I was using all the shampoos, all the pills, you name it, I was using it. What I really want to show you is how far I went and just how depressed I was. This is something that I don't really share with a lot of people. Very few people I have actually told this to, but I feel like I went through this very stressful, hard time in order for me to grow into the person I am today and be able to use my experience to help other people, especially people, because I know there's so many people out there going through similar situations. And right now I just want to show you, when I was just turning 21, I convinced my parents to let me do a hair transplant. That is how far it took me, how depressed I was, that I wanted to, spend all this money and have a surgery that would what I thought was going to fix the problem. And so what they do in a hair transplant is they take hair follicles out of the back of your head and they put it up front or wherever you're losing your hair. And the idea is that the hair follicles from back here aren't susceptible to balding. So they put them up here and they're not supposed to ever fall out. And so instead, now that I've shaved my head, because back then I didn't think I was ever going to have to worry about shaving my head because I thought this was going to take care of the problem. And clearly not the case. So now I've got a giant scar on the back of my head. And the scar is, you can't miss it. And so when I started to realize that, I was just so sick of losing out on situations and not, allowing myself to go take chances and put myself out there as much as I wanted to. It was just always holding me back. That just overriding toxic mindset that I had really installed into my brain. It was just so hard to overcome. But I got into juicing, and then after juicing, I got more into the vegan lifestyle. I got into eliminating processed foods, meat and dairy, and I started to really see improvements, not only in my physical body, but in my mental attitude and my mind. And so, so many situations that I missed out on, and I look back at now that I wish I would have, just had the courage to do it, had the self-esteem, and just had, that self-love that I have today that allows me to share this story with you. But I want people on this channel to see what raw foods have done for me, and what cleaning out my diet, cleaning out and detoxifying my body and my mind, what transformation I have seen. It's extremely amazing to me how far I've come in just the short amount of time that I've been living this lifestyle, going on 4 years now. And I gain confidence and love for myself every single day, and I'm doing this all with a shaved head. So I finally had that self-confidence, that not just that superficial confidence where you feel like you look good physically, but that inner confidence, that true internal confidence, that connection with your intuition, that connection with yourself and knowing who you are and what you're capable of, and really just riding that feeling and following your intuition to where you do the things that you know that you have to do in order to get to the places that you want to get. Understand that right now, things might seem extremely depressing. You feel like whatever issue you're dealing with is going to be with you forever, and you just cannot get over it. If you have not tried a high raw or completely raw vegan diet, or even just a vegan diet, but I do recommend a whole foods, plant-based, vegan lifestyle and diet to really get the transformation that I know you can see. I'm not saying that it's a panacea. I'm not saying that this is gonna cure every problem that you have, but it will help you in ways that you may not realize. So see what it can do for you, and you have nothing to lose except for whatever condition you're feeling or you're dealing with. And so I'll leave it at that. So have a great day. I will catch you in the next video. And if you're losing your hair, buzz it off. Get rid of that worry and just be confident in who you are. Be confident in what you can do. And if somebody gives you grief, just walk up to them and just tell them, I got a bald vegan head.